Tuesday, March 5. The First Angel's Message, Part 2. Revelation shows that the central issues in the last crisis of Earth's history will be worship and obedience to God, as revealed in keeping His commandments. As we read in Revelation 14:12, "Here is the patience of the saints, here are those who keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus." The people of the world will fall into two groups: those who fear and worship God, and those who fear and worship the beast. Question. Review the first 4 commandments of the Decalogue in Exodus 20 verse 2 to 11. Then go through Revelation chapter 13. What does the beast demand for worship in verse 15, the setting up of an image to the beast to be worshipped in verses 14 and 15, blasphemy of God and His name, Revelation 13 verses 5 and 6, and receiving of the mark of the beast in verses 16 and 17, point to Satan's attacks on the first 4 commandments of the Decalogue in the final crisis. First of all, Exodus 20 verses 2 through to 11. I am the Lord your God, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage. You shall have no other gods before me. You shall not make for yourself a carved image, any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath, or that is in the water under the earth. You shall not bow down to them, nor serve them. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fathers upon the children to the 3rd and 4th generations of those who hate me, but showing mercy to thousands of those who love me and keep my commandments. You shall not take the name of the Lord your God in vain, for the Lord will not hold him guiltless who takes his name in vain. Remember the Sabbath day to keep it holy. 6 days you shall labour and do all your work. But the 7th day is the Sabbath of the Lord your God. In it you shall do no work, you, nor your son, nor your daughter, nor your male servant, nor your female servant, nor your cattle, nor your stranger who is within your gates. For in 6 days the Lord made the heavens and the earth, the sea, and all that is in them, and rested the 7th day. Therefore the Lord blessed the Sabbath day and hallowed it. Then, going through Revelation 13, how does the beast demand for worship in verse 15? He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast be killed. The setting up of an image to the beast to be worshipped in verse 14, and he deceives those who dwell on the earth by those signs which he was granted to do in the sight of the beast, telling those who dwell on the earth to make an image to the beast who was wounded by the sword and lived. He was granted power to give breath to the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Blasphemy of God and his name in Revelation 13 verses 5 and 6. And he was given a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and he was given authority to continue for 42 months. Then he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God, to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and those who dwell in heaven. And receiving of the mark of the beast in verses 16 and 17. He caused all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and slave, to receive a mark on their right hand or on their foreheads, and that no one may buy or sell except one who has the mark or the name of the beast or the number of his name. How do these point to Satan's attacks on the first 4 commandments of the Decalogue in the final crisis? The central concept of the first 4 commandments of the Decalogue is worship. Revelation indicates that these commandments will become the standard of loyalty to God in the final crisis. The final conflict between Christ and Satan plainly will revolve around worship and the first 4 commandments. The key issue in the final crisis is emphasized in the second exhortation of the first angel's message. The call to worship him who made heaven and earth, the sea, and the springs of water, Revelation 14:7, is almost an exact quotation of the 4th commandment of the Decalogue. as we read in Exodus 20 verse 11. This fact shows that the call to worship God the Creator is a call to Sabbath observance. Rest and worship on the seventh day, Saturday, is a special sign of our relationship with God, as we read in Exodus 31 verse 13. Speak also to the children of Israel, saying, Surely my Sabbaths you shall keep, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that you may know that I am the Lord who sanctifies you. And Ezekiel chapter 20 verse 12. Moreover, I also gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign between them and me, that they might know that I am the Lord who sanctifies them. The first angel's message is a call to worship the Creator. And from the Great Controversy, page 605, we read, While the observance of the false Sabbath in compliance with the law of the state, contrary to the fourth commandment, will be an avowal of allegiance to a power that is in opposition to God, the keeping of the true Sabbath, in obedience to God's law, is an evidence of loyalty to the Creator. While one class, by accepting the sign of submission to earthly powers, receive the mark of the beast, the other, choosing the token of allegiance to divine authority, receive the seal of God. And so to finish today, how is our view of creation and salvation related? Why is resting on the Sabbath as God did so important? You have been listening to a reading of the Adult Sabbath School Bible Study Guide by Dr. Percy Harold from Queensland, Australia. This service is brought to you by Hope Channel, the Sabbath School Department, and Christian Services for the Blind. Remember, God is always faithful.